Alright, so here we are, reporting back to home base. So we have to stuff our guts back in. But we made it! Autopilot. The Defender's Heart greets you with unexpected liveliness. Beyond the walls of the tavern, the once bustling and festive city lies in ruins. But somehow none of that can be felt within these walls. The people in this room are talking, laughing, raising toasts, and even softly singing. It doesn't look like a typical tavern revelry, but nor is it the grim vigilance of recent days. Seela waves to you. She is sitting at a table, the trio you met previously, the knight, half-elf, and red-headed halfling. Durden, come, let me properly introduce you to Elan, Jenna, and Curl, the fearless warriors of the League of Inspiring Cart. Seela pushes the mug of beer towards you and speaks softly. It was me who convinced Irabeth to use what Jenna, Curl, and Elan found for a little party. If you look out the window, you may think end times have come and the abyss has devoured us all. I thought some simple pleasures, good food, and good company could help keep the gloom at bay. So it looks at you hesitantly, trying to gauge your reaction. It's not very safe, you know. The demons attack and everyone's drunk. Don't you worry about that. The cart my friends have found barely had enough for a couple of mugs for everyone. Besides, you're about to split them into two groups. Half are celebrating today, the other half tomorrow. You have a designated driver? Hey, we're just going to sit here with grim faces. I say we get to know each other a little better, so we have better reasons to toast. Tell me about you and your order, Elan. As stories go, it's not very entertaining. I was born far to the south in Andoran. I lost my parents early, led the life of a simple mercenary, but often questioned the path I had chosen. I'm proud of my sword skills. I enjoy training and drills, and I'm not afraid of battle. But risking life for coin, it takes a special mindset to choose the outlaw with no regrets. You have to want to risk your blood. I saw too many of my friends die and wondered if it was worth it. So in the end, I decided to choose another path. Now I'm going to lie down my life, at least be for a good cause. That's how I ended up in Mendev and became a squire for the Houndhearts. It's a small order by tradition. It never has more than 12 members, and a new member is only knighted after one of the elders dies. We patrol the lands along the Wardstone line and provide aid to travelers and settlers. Unfortunately, death is common among the Houndhearts. I became a full knight 2 years ago after laying my mentor to rest, but I'm content with my choice. The place is among the Crusaders. I want to be Eagle's Watch for long, Jenna. I signed up 4 days before the demon attack. Am I lucky or what? I'm an apprentice of famous fencing master from Mivon, and I learned a thing or two from him, believe me. I soon got bored of fighting off bandits and getting involved in petty squabbles of the bickering river kingdoms. I wanted a proper challenge, and you can't find a better place than Mendev. And what do you know? The moment I arrived, the demonic invasion began. My father would say, that's no accident. Fate brought me here. How about you, Curl? How did you end up condemned? I did what everyone else was doing. In the slums where everyone knows a little or maybe smuggled or guarded stashes so, but I never killed anybody and I never did anything really bad. I got caught stealing when they made me choose between prison and the condemned. Well, of course I didn't want to go to prison. I'm not that good of a fighter, but as Norgorber is my witness, a thief can also be useful in the war against demons. I've always been a good scout. I can sneak under the nose of any monster, but I don't know where my friends are now. We got separated when the demons rampaged through the city. Chin up, friend. Wherever you were in the past, you're a friend now, and a crusader. Your skills will be useful to us, you'll see. How do you all know Seela? I met my noble sister on the road to Kinebris. I was returning from the south from my fiancée and was happy to be in the company of a paladin of Iomide. We said our farewells at the city gates, and I went north along the road to Dresden to my order's camp. The demons attacked us there and at the same time struck Kinebris, but we managed to fight them off. We hurried to the city's aid and joined forces with the Eagle Watch. All my fellow Houndhearts were wounded during the battle on the streets. I'm the last knight of my order who can still fight, so it's good to see Sela again. Every loyal heart counts these days. I met Sela at the tavern in Kinebris before the attack, of course. She was one of a few who would sit at the table with condemned. Knights usually don't even look at us, but Sela is different. I know the moment I saw her. That's what made me notice Sela too, so I sat down to talk to her. Never understood why everyone treated the condemned so horribly, and I still don't. Our Curl is a great lad. So after that night, Sela and I went around taverns together every day. Mendev is an amazing place. People from all over the world come here for glory, redemption, or to help those in trouble, and they always find each other. This might be the best place in the world to find like-minded people and friends. That was a toast, in case you didn't notice. See, did you call me up here just because, or something wrong? I didn't just want to talk about today's celebration. You see, Elon is in trouble. I want to help him. I don't know anyone else in the city I can turn to. His fellow knights were all wounded in battle. Bad idea, sister. I told you, I don't want to bother anyone else with my problems. I need to handle them on my own. Oh, come on. Hiding your sadness from your friends is no way to live. Tell me more. In truth, I do not wish to impose. My problems are just minor troubles. The paladin of Iomide and her friends certainly have more important things to do, especially now that Kinebris has been overrun with demons. If I've learned anything in life, it's that nothing minor about good and evil. Take the three of you, for example. It seems like all you did was save one cart from some lesser demons. But look how many people are happy now. That feat will never be sung of in songs, but who knows, maybe thanks to one joyous hour of peace and rest, the defenders of Kinebris will find the strength to protect the city. I talk too much, don't I? Well, Sir Elan, I want to help you. My reputation as a holy warrior of Iomide won't suffer if it's more of a minor venture than a glorious feat. Alright, I'll explain. The life of a crusader has given me more than the purpose and chance to serve a righteous cause. When I abandoned the life of a mercenary and came to Mendev, I gained something else I never expected. It's here that I met, may all the ladies here forgive me, the finest girl in all the world. It's a miracle she found any love of her own heart for a bungler like me, but I'm not about to let this miracle go. Not even the demon lord Discari and all his demon army can stand in my way. Luckily, my beloved is now safely away from Kinebris. For half a year, I've been getting up my courage to propose to her. I even offered a ring from Derek Sunhammer, the best jeweler in Mendev. Independent knightly orders live the most off donations. I'm not going to what you would call rich, but I so want to make Kiana happy. Oh, it took me 3 months to find a jewel the same shade as her eyes, and twice that long to scrape together enough money. Master Derek's work was worth it, but I lost the ring during the demon attack, and I'll probably never find a worthy replacement. The ring was most likely at Houndheart's camp outside the city. Elon and his friends didn't have time to pack up their camp. First the demons ambushed them, and they rushed off to help Kinebris. I think we should at least go there and check. Not right now, of course, once the situation in the city is under control. Alright. Thanks for agreeing to help. Elon is a good man and a true knight. I think the world should repay those who are devoted to doing good. Let's help him so we can propose to his beloved the way he wanted. Sela, I hope you convince Irabeth to let me go with you when you do this. I don't want to be parted from my friends. Of course, the League of Inspiring Cart has come together in this dark hour. Let's continue onward together. Any success? How's the city? Count Jana Eldori? Yes, thank you. It's good to have her back. Every fighter we can get. I suppose it's much more fighters that are sober as well. Demons are planning. Demons plan to attacking the defender side very soon. Thanks for the warning. We knew it would happen, but we didn't expect it so soon. The demons are highly chaotic and disorganized. Someone must be going to great lengths to gather them into a horde and smother the last box of resistance. Well, I'll make sure there are a few surprises in store for them. My scouts in the city still haven't reported any movements of demon hordes. The defender's heart is safe, at least for now. I'll send a messenger for you when the situation changes. It's our main objective. You heard of that demon said they're going to desecrate the ward stone of the whole barrier around the World Wound. That would be even worse disaster than the World Wound's expansion before the Second Crusade. Not only Kenabras, but every city with a ward stone would be destroyed, including the capital. We can't allow that, no matter what. We will retake it, even destroy it if we must. Humanity's gift must not become a weapon of the abyss. Thank you. Go, Humidity, you're safe. Level up, level up, level up.
Adventures await.
That's from the Crusaders. I hope this example clearly illustrates the difference between Jistka legionaries and the Lost War and the Crusaders. The perfection and form and spirit they were imbued with during creation turned them into parts of a well-balanced war machine, not a ragtag bunch of individuals, but a united whole. Now tell me again why I'm supposed to be impressed by your reckless assaults, where everyone was fighting for their ego and for the right to beat peers to a swift but pointless heroic sacrifice. Some Crusaders grumble unhappily, but it is clear that they are captivated by the woman's words. The only exception is a scraggly and disheveled halfling monk, whose puffy black eye gives him away as a brawler and a troublemaker. He enthusiastically pushes forward and tries to engage, but his friend swiftly jabs him in the back with an elbow, making the poor fellow pause to catch his breath. One of the Crusaders angrily curls his fists and tightly retorts with a burst of passion. If those gists of yours or whatever that come for us have their guts for garters, you think we've never fought a mighty adversary before? The soldier's stern-faced facade cannot fully conceal his relish. Clearly plans to enjoy this confrontation. Crusaders around him look upon their exotic opponent with a mixture of irritation and piqued interest. I would love to see you storm a 60-foot-tall walking castle shaped like a gigantic elephant that carries siege fortifications on its back. And I'll have you know these fortifications were defended by the Jistkan priest craftsmen armed with demon-bound war machines. They use the enemies you cannot defeat as mindless weapons. But you should not argue with someone who happens to be the most authoritative researcher on the history of warfare 3,000 years before the foundation of Absalom. The woman looks at you and flashes a smile. The lecture is over. Do my esteemed listeners have any questions? Who are you? I am Indara, warrior, magus, and scholar of classical warfare from the Garand. Appears you apprehensively in size. I admit I am mildly offended by the fact my name is entirely unfamiliar to you, but I'm willing to accept to Avistan's isolation from the sophisticated culture of the world at large. Come a long way. I consider myself as an inhabitant of Golarion. I don't narrowly identify with any country in particular. What's this last war you mentioned? Last War of Jiska, of course, the large-scale conflict that took place 2,000 years before the foundation of Absalom. It is a war against the Osiren Pharaoh of Forgotten Plagues, the war that ended the legendary Jiska Imperium, an epic struggle that became the most vibrant page in military history. Alas, all conflicts that followed it were but a pale shadow, including the one I am witnessing here. I'm going to treat the Crusaders with disdain. Allow me to explain. Debate. Well, we have to prove the current conflict can't hold a candle to the last war of Jiska. Very well, the last war of Jiska was waged using significantly greater numbers of troops. Both sides actively relied on reinforcements from allied planes. Their strategic planning was perfected through no fewer than 7 rounds of intensive design. None of the above applies to this war of yours. Compared to Jiska, we are but club-wielding kobolds. I would like to conclude my thesis with few words of wise counsel from Dargon, the advisor to the Pharaoh of Forgotten Plagues. I doubt you will comprehend the true genius of his statement. Here it is nevertheless. The gadfly sees the ox pays no heed to the gadfly, but crimson fever takes them both. Though diplomacy, the event of the past are shrouded in legend, but the fate of the world is being decided here and now. That's what you fail to grasp. Principles of war are always the same. Weapons, causes, and resources may change, but foundations remain immutable. Go diplomacy. The earnestness of the face of those around you is taken away in Dara's panache, encouraging her to backtrack and stumble over words. Of course, I'm not trying to diminish the importance of current events. What I'm trying to say is that from the standpoint of history, in particular the history of warfare, she falls silent, fixating on the oncoming eyes of her audience. The true importance of these developments won't become obvious until later. As a scholar, I cannot deny that there is a certain truth beneath her skeptical statements. History is a complex discipline, rooted in fact and evidence and evidentiary base that grows ever more meager the farther the described period is from the present moment. Of course, if I were to argue in bad faith, the way Crusaders embellish their tales of slaying a single Brimorak by adding a dozen Balors, for example, I could win this debate, but I am above such things, and therefore I am forced to admit your skepticism not entirely without merit. I'm sure you'll be able to expound your argument on a longer discussion. I'm glad you both understand this limitation. It is always a pleasure to face a worthy opponent. The debate takes place in a grimy tavern, perhaps especially because of that. Dara unbuckles her sword belt, hands you a weapon. It's a worthy blade. It will be used not only by the strong, but also the wise. This is where I bid you farewell. Before the end of the day, I was planning to observe how winged demons use pack tactics to drive their prey like herds of livestock. It is about time I get back to my research. A hint of a smile graces Dara's lips when she sees disappointment in the eyes of many Crusaders around her. Stay safe. Come back! What'd she give me? It's a short sword. I don't know, I'm not specialized like a longsword, but that is still useful. Okay. The dwarf resembles an abandoned citadel, one whose high crumbling walls are still holding fast, but whose empty, lightless windows make it clear that all inside is dead. Oh, it's you. Good work back there. In the grey garrison named Staunton Bond. If you've heard rumors about me, your face looks like you've never known anything carefree as a smile grimaces. Just so you know, everything people say about me is true. Tydulf calls himself Storyteller. If I can find him. Storyteller, Strange old fellow. That one, he used to sit with me for hours, asking about all sorts of things. He never offered judgment or comfort, he just listened. At first I wanted him and his questions as far away from me as possible, but later I realized that talking to him did ease my burden a little. I hope he is alive and well. He's completely blind and feeble too, so if he's alone in the city, you probably know what that means. I know one place he might be. Look for him in the Black Wing. It's a library. Here, I'll show you where it is on your map. I don't know what use the library is to a blind elf, but he loved the place. Sit there day and night. I gotta go. This worn autumn haze. Tall, fragile elf sits in front of you, eyes closed, as pale as a ghost, his arm wrapped a blood-stained bandage. You spot other bandages on his body under his clothes, but even such a miserable state, he manages to keep calm. Raising eyes to meet yours, he says faintly, I am Thorn Autumn Haze at your service. Who are you? My name is Thorn Autumn Haze. I've come here to meet Kyonin, because I'm a hunter, and all minions of evil are my quarry. I won't say any more than that, if you don't mind. We are strangers and of different races and cultures. I will not tell you more than is necessary. Do you need help? Do not trouble yourself on my behalf. A local healer tended to me. Besides, I come from a resilient, hardy people. My body will endure both the wounds and the poison delivered through them. I am Durden. You can trust me. I might be able to help you. If impossible, it would be impolite to refuse such a direct and friendly offer. We're poor here in Mendev. Finding a fugitive, a disgrace by the name of Kalesa, means me to admit that there are heinous malefactors such as her among my noble kind. I managed to catch up with her in Kennepress, and I wounded her. The demons appeared. The city was engulfed in flames. I was injured in the battle and ensued and couldn't free her soul from its service to her dark masters. Is that the woman I healed? I wonder if that was her. Sorry for your misfortune. I hope things would seem to turn out differently next time. There is no need for pity. Our ancient kind is blessed with great longevity. We gain deeper understanding of the world and other races, and we learn our lessons better than anyone. It goes for learning our mistakes as well. I survived without means. I will be prepared when next meet. I met Kalesa. Horns. Melancholic expression remains calm, but his entire body tenses and fingers wrap around the handle of his weapon. Under what circumstances hope you seize the opportunity to kill her? Certain of your allegations? I am. Her misdeeds are terrible and proven without certainty. I let her go. Giving you a sad and look, Thorn stares off distance. Your decision is regrettable. Afraid that in doing so you condemned her to many future victims to death. I hope just means bringing this hunt to a close falls upon my shoulders. I agree. Now that we're topped off.
Let's move.
Any named characters for me to talk to? Jordan Vane? No face in the city, but a good time to come to Cameras. See the native warriors. Everyone can I rest by sight? Not everyone, but I make it my business to know people might be in services, much work is just an anvil, you know? True that, I gotta go then. I don't have much action for this episode yet. I get to something done. Please take. Stop by that hanged cultist first. Yoink.
Do not fear! Do not waver!
I can't cast it like that. Forwards!
The light! Take you!
You've crossed the
All my
wrong
rounds will
Follow
not
this
one
obstacle.
better.
Surrender or else.
Excellent. Another 300 for us. 400, please.
Follow me.
Continue. Lost bag? What's it? Okay. Cello Crusader. A flammable alchemical substance. This is. The great library of Conembris has been ravaged and wrecked in the most barbaric way. It seems that someone took perverse pleasure in smashing lamps, furniture, and tearing pages out of books.
No, what is that?
What is that? A stocky knight with a head of messy black hair stands before you. His armor is spattered with blood, due to the deep booming voice. Ah, Crusaders, excellent. I've been Captain Cheleb Sazonal, and these are my men. I'm about to burn those vile backstabbers and heretics here, these pathetic imitators of the traitor Arilu, who tricked their way into the ranks of the Crusaders. The knight nods as a heap of severely beaten people and a strange elf whose appearance seems jarring for some unknown reason. Sasselmal bellows threats at the prisoners, who seem to be in a deep state of shock and utter terror. Strange feeling rises up within you. Pure instinct. You don't know what you're about to do, but you're certain that it is right. Perception? Caleb is talking too loudly, all while casting sidelong looks at you. You have seen similar behavior works before in liars. Examine Crusader's armor and symbols on it. Failed another religion check, seriously? Fixed. Scenario. Why do you want to burn them? Look around you. The city is burning in ruins. So many innocent lives are lost, all because of these abominations like these here. Cultists, heretics, and spies. Slipping into our ranks, carrying out orders of their brutal masters and preparing heinous death for us all. They want to give us over to their demons, just like Arilu did with Sarkoris. They deserve to feel the flames licking at their legs. Good with the nasty words he used against people. He called them heretics, cultists, and spies. So you don't have to call them people. Good people just like you would feel bad for doing this to people, but not heretics. Without those words, you wouldn't be able to burn them. I don't believe you. You are the traitor. Philip tightens his grip on his weapon and yells to his lackey, "Burn them!" Or just solemnly as a flash of Algo's fire lands on a mountain of books which immediately ignite. Fire spreads quickly across the river dose the alchemical mixture. No. May have to save something up. Through the roaring flames, the screams of those burning alive, your desperate cry. They lied to you. They are the traitors. The true crusaders are burning. Stephen grim annoyance and spits on the floor. I thought I'd pulled over on you there. Too bad it didn't work out for you. You meet your death in the flames for the rest of this scum. My new masters, the demons, will you please lay wipe out another couple of crusaders?
I won't let you hurt my friends.
How you hit them?
A blind elf stands before you. He looks extremely strange. His face wears its ears heavily. It is unusual for members of his race. Thinning gray hair, a ragged beard, sightless milky eyes, pale, papery skin, covered in aged spots, a spine curved by the passage of time. This is not how elves typically age. The youth that graces the faces of elves, even on their deathbed, has totally abandoned this decrepit specimen. It is an elf with a beard. I guess the worst can be found even in the best. A bearded elf, how very intriguing. If you please, I would like to pluck a hair out of that phenomenon manifesting on your chin. In the interest of science, of course. The old elf holds out his hand in your direction, the perennial gesture of the blind, greeting you with an unexpectedly strong and calm voice. Hello, I'm Storyteller, and I wish to thank my rescuers. That is, you, if I'm not mistaken. Who are you? I prefer to call me Storyteller. It very accurately describes the sphere of my occupations and interests. In most of the places I have been, I am known by that name. Even when I was little, my mother and father used to tell me stories, but I have no one to tell me stories of how. Sometimes my grandma does in my dreams, but I always forget them in the morning. Can you tell me a story? Corners of the blind elf's mouth creep slowly upward. For you, I may have a story to tell, but perhaps it is you who have a story for me. How didn't you burn in the fire? To tell the truth, I myself do not know. I felt the heat. I was so strong. I waited for the pain, the burning, but I was unscathed. The smoke nearly did finish me off. It may be of some form of magical protection against fire, but I don't know what that means. I may have acquired it just another oddity from my collection of the inexplicable. Gloom steals across the storyteller's face. I'm taking you to Defender's Hut. Please accept my sincere thanks once again, and if I may, please don't rush. I will struggle to keep up with your own legs. Sure. There it is. Storyteller's right. Blind Elf looks at you better than he did at your last encounter. His clothes are clean, and his pale face has some color. The elf turns to you and listens closely. Is that you, my savior? I recognize your footsteps, determined footsteps, befitting a determined person. Allow me to thank you again for saving me. Please accept this as a humble gift, as a token of my appreciation. Herbeth has explained while you were looking for me. I warned the authorities of Kennebrus that the local wardstone had been desecrated. They waved off my warning and paid for their inaction. I've examined many wardstones, but only one guarding the Kennebrus did I sense a flaw, a spot of corruption inside, a vulnerability the demons will surely use. They are able to spread the blight inside the wardstone corrupted and make it their weapon. It frightens me to think what it will be capable of. The wardstone must be destroyed. Could wield some special magical power? Yes, to a certain extent, but it is more of a gift. I can see the past, stories that have happened. I touch an object and shreds of its owner's memories are revealed to my mind. Their emotions, passions, and tragedies. I see visions like I am them, and their stories happen to me. This is my power. I have been roaming the world gathering such stories for many thousands of years. One day I will gather them all. What blight is concealed in the wardstone? Afraid I don't have an answer to your question. To understand the nature of this blight, we need to understand how the wardstone was created, and it is hidden from me. I can only guess. You heard of the Red Morning Massacre, a dreadful morning remembered with fear even by those not yet born at the time? A demoness called Menago invaded the city with a crowd of her followers and started to do what the demons do best, kill and desecrate. They say they covered the wardstone with pieces of dead bodies splashed with blood from top to bottom. Could such an abomination darken the radiance of the gift Iomide herself? The locals think it impossible, but who knows? It was not the last attack. Many demon leaders brought their unholy forces here. Even the terrifying Balor Korra Mazda. Their attacks were rebuffed, but they still reached their target. I think this is when the seed of corruption was planted in the stone. It wouldn't have grown on its own. That the Skari himself has now come to take advantage of this weakness to open the abscess that has been festering for years unnoticed by the people of Kennebrus. When the demon lord struck the blow, the weakened stone gave in. Now it is in demon hands, and there's nothing stopping them from splitting the blight throughout the entire stone, and from it to the other stones along the whole perimeter of the world wound. I've heard you, Storyteller. In that case, you must make every possible effort to destroy the corruption. Unfortunately, I don't know where to get an instrument powerful enough to banish it from the wardstone. As far as I know, there's nothing like it in Kennebrus, but the demons might have something. I heard the dying roar of Terrandiliv, the silver dragon, protector of the city. At the same time, I felt a wave of unfamiliar power sweep over me from head to toe. I would advise you to go where Terrandiliv perished and search there for something. I'm sorry I can't be more specific, but intuition and strange sense of rightness tell me to point you there. I have a purple stone knife. I found it in the square where Tim lived parish. What do you make of it? Storyteller reaches out and says softly, "Even from here I can feel strange energies emanating from the object. If you don't mind, I will examine it using my method. I will try to see past of its owner, their emotions, and shreds of their memories. Maybe it will help us understand what we're dealing with." Storyteller touches knife, his fingers clamping around the hilt with a hungry, masterful grip. His face contorts into an evil grimace, his voice disgustingly raspy. "Hunger. My many legs bring me into the lair, to my mother's feasting hall. Her swollen body, overfilled with food, is so huge that I have to look at it with all my eyes at once. On top of her is a scrawny little head with a long beak that is always yearning for more food. You feel feverish, and your chest, where the mysterious wound is concealed, feels hot. Your mind is flooded with visions, with a wave of visions. Visions that repeat the word of the old elf. Mother greets me from placid screech, stupid, greedy wench, whose only achievement is my birth, a creeping, wingless creature. It is your fault I have no wings, a symbol of my greatness, a birthright I should have received from mighty father. Mother points me toward a crowd of whimpering subjects, suggesting I fortify myself to their pathetic flush. Not today. I summon my spawn. They fly to me, enveloping me with teeming cloud. Like a dark buzzing wings, they unfold behind me and lift me up. My mother has always been stronger. Do not expect this, I leave. I enter a rip, bloated body with my claws. Ichor splatters, the bone spurs of my heels sink into her flesh. I clench her pitiful tiny head and tear it off along the shreds of my meat. Victory! I am the strongest, son of the winged father. Appalling. Stories like this are most difficult ones to keep with me. Knife blown to a demon? Opens his mouth to answer, but a sudden spasm crosses his face. A new vision, a much stronger one, engulfs the old elf. The malevolent undertones vanish from his voice as he grows more determined and tired. Even looking at the wardstone is difficult. Despite the corruption nesting on it, it still has an aura of strength. Your fingers clench the stone hilt so tight it hurts. A little spot on the flawless surface of the wardstone draws your attention and looks like a butterfly. Corruption in the guise of something utterly harmless, but it will grow. You swing and stab the butterfly with the knife as hard as you can. Your fingers cramp painfully. Howl enters your ears. Light. White light everywhere. Stone knife falls from the elf's hand. Out of breath, he drops to his knees, is trembling, tearing his face, unlike his usual dignified manner. What was that? That was not the past. That was something that is yet to happen, or rather might happen. One of the roads to the future, and one of the possible futures. This item will help you cleanse the wardstone, or to destroy it. Feel longing to take the stone chisel and plunge it into your chest, right into the wound that is open up in it. It's hard to resist that feeling, but your last moment, self-preservation instinct takes over. You manage to keep control of your own hands. Man stands up. He looks completely stunned. Never before has anything that has happened to me. But how? I'm not an oracle or a prophet. It is another riddle from the past that has caught up with me. I must find out now. Seeing stories that have happened is one thing, but seeing stories that are yet to happen. I don't know why this is happening now, but there is one thing I'm sure of. This is not a coincidence. It's not of coming changes, great changes. And we need to wrap this up here. Life tempted me. Did you see what I saw? This has never happened before. Could it be the magic of the object that brought me? Since dark energies in it can cloud and charm the mind, be careful with this item. It may have tried to influence you, but you managed to overcome its power and subdue it. Perhaps something else happened to us. Something you can't yet understand. Who's in your vision? I don't know, someone strong, desperate enough to resort to extreme measures. I felt what something had to be done. Saw destined to happen? No, the future is not set. It used to be a long time ago when a god, Oridin, guarded the Golarion, but not now. Prophecies do not come true, or they do, not the way they were supposed to. Only saw one version of the future, one of the paths leading to it, but the choice had been made. Destinies are not set in stone. Those are amazing. A few minutes ago I would have agreed with you, but this thing has just happened. It stirs me, and my gift has manifested like this. Something has changed. The changes frighten me. I have to go. And so do I, team. Okay. Well, that was fun, wasn't it? I look forward to seeing in the future, destroying the Ward Stone and kicking more ass. But thank you again for watching, and have an awesome time wherever you are. Bye-bye.